Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We'll start with prayers. Om अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीनिरूपं साग्रजाताः सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So welcome everybody for today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita discussion. I'm very grateful to each and every one of you who have come. Are you able to hear me clearly? Audio is clear? Okay. So thank you once again. So last time we had discussed till the Madhya Leela 6th chapter, shloka number 157. So we're going to continue 158. From there we are going to continue today's discussion. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण। So here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is defeating the various arguments of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He is doing that by presentation of the proper philosophy. So we are in course of that. So let us proceed ahead. Satchidanandamaya Haya Ishvara Swarupa Tina Amsha Chichakti Haya Tina Rupa. Nice. So the entire emphasis is all about how the Supreme Lord has not a material form but a transcendental form. Yes, Satchidanandamaya Haya Ishvara Swarupa. The Lord's form is Satchidananda, and he has the three parts Chit Shakti. Yes, Satchit Ananda, they are his Chit Shakti. Yeah. So it is our first duty before even we go into all pastimes and all. Everyone should first understand the relationship between the Chit Shaktis, and one should try to understand the nature of the Supreme Lord. So that is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is first teaching and training all of us in the nature of Supreme Lord. Anandam she ladini, sadam she sandini, chidam she samvit yara jnana kari mani. Okay. So Anand is the Ladini Shakti of Lord. Sat is Shandini Shakti of the Lord. And Chit is Samvit Shakti of the Lord. Yare Jnana Kari Mani. So Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. These are the three energies, name of energies. And each of these energies are associated with Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So when you say Sat Chit and Sat is existential potency, and that is equivalent of Sandini. And the representation is given by Balaram. Chit is actually Samvit, and Ananda is Ladini. Yeah. अंतरंग चिशक्ति तटस्थ जीव शक्ति बहिरंग माया तीने करे प्रेम भक्ति. So there is antaranga. Antaranga is a chit shakti, the internal potency of Lord. Tatastha is all the jivatma. They are tatastha shakti. And bahiranga shakti is maya shakti. And all three of them actually are doing prema bhakti unto Supreme Lord. Yes, they perform pure devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. Yes, so Antaranga is represented by Srimati Radharani. Bahiranga is represented by Durga Devi. And the Tatastha Shakti is all the Jivatmas, all the living entities. Yeah. So when the Ananda knowledge are bestowed upon the Supreme conditioned souls, the conditioned souls escape the clutches of Maya. So the moment the Antaranga Shakti shows the mercy on the Supreme, on the living entities, by the potency of knowledge of the Supreme Lord, Samvit, and also the Ananda one experiences when one performs bhakti, then one will not be in this material world. He will escape this material world. षड्विधा ऐश्वर्य प्रभु रचिक शक्ति विलास हीन शक्ति नाही मान परम साहस. षड्विधा means 6 types of Aishwarya. What are the 6 Aishwaryas? The knowledge, the renunciation, the fame, in that is influence. As for strength, then beauty and riches. So these are the 6 opulences. And Prabhura Chit Shakti Vilas. So thus in spiritual potency, Krishna enjoys 6 types of opulences. Shad Aishwarya Purna. Yes. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling heavily to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Hena Shakti Nahi Mana Parama Sahas. And you are impudent. You are supremely impudent not to obey this. Yes, you are not considering these 6 opulences at all. This is your supreme impudence. You are simply proud, puffed up, but you don't have proper Vedic knowledge. So like that, he is defeating him. Yes. He's continuing now. So now by now he has established the supremacy. A Lord is a person, and a person has a form, and a person has energies. He's a person, he's Shaktiman, and he's also a person with opulences. मायाधीश मायावश ईश्वरे जीव भेद हेन जीवे ईश्वर सह कहत अभिद. See, Ishvara is Mayadhish. He is the master of Maya. Ishvara always controls Maya. And Jiva is Maya Vash, which means he is actually completely under the influence of Maya. This is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Ishvara, Mayadish. Jiva, Mayavasha. This is the difference between the two. Hena Jive Ishvara Saha Kahata Abheda. And who can say that there is no difference between Ishvara and Jiva? Yes, you are telling that Ishvara and Jiva are same? Yes, what is this? How dare you do this? Like that he is asking. So we know the famous sloka of the Mandaka Upanishad. Dvasuparna sayujasa dvas Dvasuparna sayujasa sakhaya samana vriksham parishasva jate tayoranya vippalam swadvatti anasnam anyo vichakshiti. So this is same. This is a story of the two birds. Yes, the two birds are sitting on a tree. One bird is eating the fruits and another bird is watching the activities. So the two birds, about them the science is mentioned. So this very clearly shows there are two birds. Dwa Suparna. So there are two distinct birds. Jiva is one and Ishvara is another. And we can never say Ishvara and Jiva are same because one is Mayadish, one is Mayavash. One by the influence of Maya is eating the fruits of the various karmas. And the other one is simply waiting for this Jiva to turn towards. गीता शास्त्रे जीव रूप शक्ति करी माने हे न जीव भेद कर ईश्वरे रसने. Yeah. So in the Bhagavad Gita, yes, Gita Shastra. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting from Bhagavad Gita, the foundation of all spiritual literature because it's spoken by Krishna himself. And Gita is a Shastra which even Shankaracharya accepted. Shankaracharya accepted, so this Mayavadis also accept Gita because Shankaracharya has accepted. Gita Shastra Jiva Rupa Shakti Kari Mani. So in Bhagavad Gita, the Jiva is established as a Shakti of Lord. We are all a Shakti of Lord. This is what Bhagavad Gita says. Jiva is an energy of Lord. Hena Jiva Bheda Kara Ishwari Rasane. Then how can you say that Jiva is different from the Lord? Yes. So we need to understand that Jiva is qualitatively same and quantitatively different. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here is trying to establish the doctrine of Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Achintya Bheda Bheda. There is a difference and yet there is similarity. Both. Bheda is there and Abheda is also there. Both are there. So we can never say Jiva is different or Jiva is same. The statements are not correct. So now he's going to quote that shloka, the famous shloka. भूमिरापो नलो वायु खम मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यम्मे भिन्ना prakritiरष्टदा. So if you see, these are the 8 material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. That's the sky, akash. Mano is mind, buddhi is intelligence, and ahankara is false ego. These are the 8 material elements, 5 gross elements and 3 subtle elements. Bhinna Prakriti Rashtada. These 8 elements belong to the Bhinna Prakriti or the Bahiranga Shakti. Next. And then how Jiva is considered an energy of Lord? Apareyam mitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabhaho yedam dharyate jagat. Yet there is another anyam. There is yet another energy. Please understand. Prakritim vidhi me param. Please understand this is mine. This is also my prakriti, but para prakriti. This is different and this is transcendental. What is that prakriti? Anya prakriti kaun si hai? Ye to bina prakriti. Anya prakriti that is different from this material energy is transcendental energy. Jiva bhuta mahava. It is jiva bhuta, the living entities. And he is yayedam dharyate jagat. He is what is sustaining the material world. Because it's the jiva ultimately who is manipulating the spiritual, the material energy. So this particular shloka clearly tells, this is Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, shloka number 4 and 5. So previous one was fourth, this is the fifth verse. So here it's established very clearly that Jiva is an energy of the Lord. So there is Jiva and Ishvara are like energy and energetic. Ishwarira Shri Vigraha Satchidanandakara Se Vigraha Kara Sattva Gunera Vikara. So we need to understand very clearly that Ishwarira Shri Vigraha Satchidanandakara. So the form of the Lord is Satchidananda. Yes, a form completely spiritual. And you fellow, you are saying that Lord is simply Sattvaguna, and that's what Mayavadis say. Mayavadis say Krishna's form is also Maya. Krishna's form is one of the Sattvaguna forms. That's what. It is not correct. And you are saying like this, तुम ऐसा करते हो? What nonsense? So like that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. So this fact is established. Okay? So now what will be established is the false philosophy of Shankaracharya. So from 167 till 183, yes, the doctrine of Shankaracharya is misused by Mayavadis. So that will be there. Shankara's doctrine misinterpreted by Mayavadis. So this section we are going to see today. I know it's a very philosophical section. Many devotees will be searching, bro ji pastime की तरह कुछ लीला, अरे लीला ही हो रहा है, right? This is a conversation between Sarvabhauma and Mahaprabhu. श्री विग्रह ये न माने सेता पाषंडी अदृश्य अस्पृश्य से हय यम दंडी. Say anybody who doesn't accept the form of Lord, Shri Vigraha ye na mane. Somebody is telling no, I will not accept the form of Lord. मैं भगवान के रूप को मानता नहीं. Seita पाषंडी. That fellow is atheist. Is atheist number one. So he is Pashandi, atheist. And Adrishya, don't look at him. Such a person we should not even see, who is not accepting the form of Lord. Adrishya, don't look at him. Asprishya, don't touch him. He is untouchable. Say Hayat Yamadandi, that fellow is going to be beaten by Yamraj's all servants, by Danda, Yamadandi. He is going to be beaten by Yamadanda. Right. So Prabhupada quotes Namam Dushkritino Mudha Prapadyante Naradama. So these Mayavadi philosophies also something like this. They are also atheists because they don't accept the form of Lord. Correct? So they are condemned. Because they are going to be nicely punished by Yamaraj. Vedanam Buddha Hayata Nastika Vedashaya Nastika Vada Bauddha Ke Adhika. Yes. See, Vedana Mania Bauddha, the Buddhists, they don't believe in the authority of Vedas. And that's why Hayata Nastik, they are called as Nastiks. They call them as agnostics or as atheists. Yes. So, but we need to understand that these Mayavadis are more dangerous than Buddhists. Why? Because they take the Vedas. See, Buddhists at least they don't accept Vedas, so they're atheists because they don't accept Vedas. But Mayavadis are accepting Vedas and preaching atheism and telling that Lord's form is Maya. So they are more dangerous than Buddhists. Yes, they are more dangerous than Buddhists. That is what is told. And Prabhupada quotes in the Purport. The such intelligence, ye anya arvindaksha vimukta maninas, toyashta bhavat avishuddha buddhaya, aruya krichrena param padam tatah, patanti adovanala anadrita yushmadangreya. So here, the Lord, the Prabhupada says that ye anya arvindaksha vimuktamanina. Somebody is not, he thinks himself as liberated like the Mayavadis and offend the lotus feet of Lord. They are definitely good. However they are in realization or liberation, they are going to fall down from their so-called spiritual existence. Yes. So that is being spoken very clearly. So Mayavadis usually what they do is they don't know proper opposites. Like for example, if we ask what is the opposite of absolute truth, the opposite of absolute truth, if you ask a Vaishnava, he will say it's relative truth. Absolute truth ka opposite? Relative truth. But a Mayavadi, if you ask him what is the opposite of absolute truth, he will write absolute false. And that's what he's trying to do. Oh, God can never have a form. Whenever the scriptures say that Lord doesn't have eyes, doesn't have ears, yes, he doesn't have material eyes, material ears like you and me, which are full of defects and faults. Yes, his senses are beyond faults. His body is beyond faults. So that they are not able to accept that the Lord has faultless body. There is a problem with them. Next. जीवेर निस्तार लगी सूत्र कैला व्यास मायावादी भाष्य सुनेल है सर्वनाश. Hare Krishna. See the Vedanta Sutra. Yes, जीवेर निस्तार लागी. For delivering जीवों का निस्तार करने के लिए, in order to deliver the living entities, सूत्र कैला व्यास. The Vyas gave Vedanta Sutra. But on those Vedanta Sutra, these Mayavadis they give Bhashya. They give their Bhashya. That means they give their own commentary. And anyone who listens to the commentary of Mayavadis, Haya Sarva Nasha, they will be completely destroyed. Yes, they are completely destroyed. So Shankaracharya prepared a commentary called Charirika Bhashya. And that particular, the transcendental form of Lord is denied. And it is completely opposed to the Vedic teachings as well as the Bhakti's conclusion. So somebody who's hearing the Shankarite Saririka Bhashya, he will not get the real knowledge. In fact, he'll be destroyed. Whatever propensity of service attitude is there, it will be lost. Because Mayavadis try to convince you that you are Lord. Your Lord means you're supposed to enjoy. That is like the highest form of cheating enjoyment. And that is something which will destroy our Seva Bhav. That is why we don't listen to Mayavad. So now there are two types of Vad which will be described. Let's see. सूत्रेण सम्मत अचिंत्य शक्ति ईश्वर जगत रूपे परिणत. So Vyasa Sutra. So Vyasa's Vad is called Parinamavad, the theory of transformation. Yes. So theory of transformation is called Parinamavad. So Parinamavad is actually the Vedanta Sutra's ultimate explanation. Which means, what is Parinamavad? Parinam means what? What is Parinam? इसका परिणाम क्या होगा तुमको मालूम नहीं. इसका परिणाम क्या है? What will be the effect? So cause and effect. So Parinamvad means this entire Jagat, yes, this universe is Parinata. It's a transformation of Supreme Lord's energy. Yes, this world is a transformation of Supreme Lord's energy. That is called as Parinamavad, Parinata. So Vyasdev's theory is Parinamvad. अविकृते प्रसभे हेम भार जगद रूप है ईश्वर तबु अविकार. See, a touchstone, money. The money which is referred here is touchstone, money, Chintamani. So, a touchstone after touching iron, what happens? As soon as a touchstone touches iron, it produces a lot of gold. And the touchstone doesn't change. करेक्ट. मणि जो है लोहे के संपर्क में आता है, बहुत सारा सोना देता है, लेकिन वो बदलता नहीं है, मणि नहीं बदलता, सिर्फ सोना आता है। जगत रूप है ईश्वर तबो अविकार, सेम वे in from the Supreme Lord when he comes in contact with the Prakriti. Yes, Supreme Lord comes in contact with Prakriti. That time this material universe is generated and Supreme Lord doesn't change. Just like Chintamani doesn't change. The money doesn't change. Yes. So whereas Mayavadis many times their Vad is called as Vivartavad. Vivartavad is theory of illusion. Yes. Because they don't accept the form of the Lord. They say that वो ब्रह्म ही है सब कुछ, ब्रह्म से ही सब निकलता है, ब्रह्म में ही लीन हो जाता है. And their Vad is that they say even if there was God, even if he gets distributed, his power is lost. So once in Prabhupada times there was one guru. That guru was crying and he gave a statement, press report statement. Oh, I've lost all my power. So all the reporters were asking, why, what happened to you? How come you lost all your power? I lost all my power because I distributed everything to my disciples. Yes, I distributed everything to my disciples and lost all my power. That's what happened. Hare Krishna. On the other hand, if you read Brahma Samhita, this very clearly says that how this material universe is working. Let's see. सृष्टि स्थिति प्रणय साधन शक्ति रेखा छायैव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्यसेष्टा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Yes. So all the Srishti, Sthiti, Pralay, yes, it all acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord, just like Chayeva Yasya. A person's hand moves, the person's shadow also moves. And Uchchanurupam, just by the desire of the Supreme Lord, yes, he's just directing with his desire, and this whole cosmic energy is working wonderfully. Yes. व्यास भ्रांत बोले से ये सूत्र दोष दिया विवर्तवाद स्थापियाचे कल्पना करिया. So Vyas gave Parinamvad and the Mayavadis they give Vivartavad. Yes, Vivartavad. Vivartavad is theory of illusion. So they say the Shankara's theory of says that this Parinamvad in the Vedanta Sutra, it actually means, they say that, oh, it means that the absolute truth has transformed himself. So in this way the Mayavadis they accuse that Vyasdev has made a mistake. व्यास से गलती हुई है. They find fault in the Vedanta Sutra and misinterpret it to try to explain the Vivartavad. Yes. So we need to understand that the Mayavadis, because of perverted intelligence, they are establishing Vyasdev only as wrong. Vyas की गलती है. So they criticize. And they put forward the theory of illusion. And they simply try to do word jugglery. एक एक शब्द इधर उधर उठा के they never reach any conclusion. आत्मबुद्धि से ही मिथ्या है जगत ये मिथ्या नहीं नश्वर मात्र है. So जीवेर देह आत्मबुद्धि. Yes, considering oneself as a body. Yes, he identifies with the body. Only then such a person can accept the Vivartavad. Yes, somebody who has understood very clearly the Atma Vidya, which is Bhagavad Gita, he will never be able to accept himself as and accept this such kind of theory. So they say Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. They say this manifestation is false. So this manifestation is not false, it is temporary. Yes, it's temporary. That is the Vaishnava philosophy. Nashwara matra hai. Does Krishna says this is false? No. Krishna says Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. He never says Mithya. So when Mayavadis say Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, so that philosophy is also wrong. Because ultimately this Jagat is also a manifestation of Lord. Lord is Virat Purusha. And there's in Vishnu Sahasranam, the first name is Vishwam. It is Vishwa. Vishwam Vishnum Vasatkaro. So this we have to understand, this world cannot be false because it's coming from absolute truth. So it cannot be lost. False. If this is false, if they tell that this form is false of the Lord, then they prove the form itself is false. Only Brahma can be Satya. That is how they defeat this theory of Parinamvad, which is not correct. So they impose this kind of theory by Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. ये दुनिया झूठी है. That's not correct. प्रणव ये महावाक्य ईश्वरेर मूर्ति प्रणव हैते सर्व वेद जगत उत्पत्ति. Okay. So now here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Pranava. Pranava is what? Pranava is actually Omkar. And Om represents the Lord. Is the supreme personality of Godhead, and sound is called Omkar. So it is the sound form of the Supreme Lord. Yes, the sound form of the Supreme Lord Omkara. And all Vedic knowledge and this cosmic manifestation are produced from this sound, represent of the Supreme Lord. Sound representation. So as such, from Omkara, yes, this whole manifestation, whole creation has generated from Om. And this is correct. From sound comes touch, then comes, this is how the creation began. It all began from sound. Sound से touch factor आता है. And that generates air. नहीं, sound से शब्द, रस, गंध, रूप, स्पर्श. Yeah. Sound produces the ether factor. Here's the ether factor. And then the touch comes, which is from the air, which forms the air. And then the tanmatra of form comes, fire. Then taste, water. And then earth, which is smell. So like that all the tanmatras develop. So the first tanmatra from where everything started is a sound. And what sound is that? Om. The sound of Omkar. Om. So Prabhupada also says, if one takes shelter of the sound representation of Lord, which is Omkar, he can realize his constitutional identity and engage in devotional service, even though in conditional life. So Omkar is very powerful. Next. Yes, the Shankara philosophy of Tattvam Asi. Tattwamasi जीव हेतु प्रादेशिक वाक्य प्रणव न मानी तारे कहे महावाक्य. So what they say is Tattvam Asi. Tattvam Asi is actually meant for understanding Jiva. Tat Tvam Asi. You are the same. But the principal vibration is Omkar. But not caring for Omkar, Shankaracharya has stressed the vibration Tattvamasi. He has accepted the Tattvamasi as the primary vibration. And this is what the Mayavadis also they say, Tattvamasi. But the primary thing is what? Omkara. Because Omkar, Jiva cannot be represented by Omkar. It's only the Lord who can be represented by Omkar. Correct. Tattvamasi is actually for the conditioned soul. Yes. Who is telling what is the meaning of Tattvam Asi, that you are spiritual in nature. It is not meant to say that you are Supreme Lord. So it is for the conditioned soul to understand this particular mantra. Om is the first primary mantra. Yes, so one should never ever minimize the value of Om, the chanting of Om. And subordinate to that mantra is Tattvam Asi. Correct? Next. श्रीमते कल्पित भाष्ये शतदोष दिला भट्टाचार्य पूर्व पक्ष अपार करिला. In this world, this way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu criticized Sharirika Bhashya, calling it imaginary. And he pointed hundreds of such faults. So now to defend this Sharirika Bhashya, now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is going to keep quiet? No. वो थोड़ी चुप बैठने वाले. He presented unlimited opposition. So unlimited kinds of opposition he presented. So now these are the different arguments that he presented. वितंडा छल निग्रहादि अनेक उठाइला सब खांडी प्रभु निज मत से स्थापिला. So there are different kinds of vada. Vivad, when you do vivad means vivad. Vad is conversation, vivad is argument, and vitanda vivad. Vitandavad means counter arguments. That's called as you give an argument and you will counter that argument. That's called vitandavad. Then there is chalavad. Chalavad means imaginary interpretations. So these are not bona fide or accepted by acharyas or shastras. So you give your own interpretations. That is chalavad. That also Sarvabhauma tried. Then nigraha. Nigraha means some kind of repulses to the opposite party. Yes. Some or the other trying to refute. Like this aneka uthaila. Nigraha means somehow you have to defeat the person. कुछ भी करके हराओ उसको. येन केन प्रकारेण. So he tried that also. To repress, to repulse. Sabha Khandi Prabhu Nijam Mata se Stapila. But Mahaprabhu defeated everything. Everything. That is, and defeated him. So Prabhupada has also very nicely given the meanings of these words. We should know these arguments. So Vitandavad means what Vitandavad people do is they don't touch the main point. Yes, they establish their own point and try to that is called Vitandavad. अपने point को ही पकड़ के रहते हैं, main point पे आते नहीं है. That is Vitanda argument. When one does not touch the direct meaning but tries to divert the attention by misinterpretation, he is engaging in Chalavad. Yes. Chalavad means he is diverted, he goes to misinterpretation. Misinterpretation पे जाता है, गलत interpretation जो है उसी पे जाता है छलवाद, imaginary. Nigraha is trying to refute argument of other party somehow or the other. कुछ भी करके उसको हराओ. It doesn't matter whether you make sense or not. So Mahaprabhu, he did the needful, he defeated. भगवान संबंध भक्ति अभिधेय हय प्रेम प्रयोजन वेदे तीन वस्तुकय. So if you see that ultimately Vedas, they speak about three vastus, the three types of knowledge. What are the three types of knowledge? Bhagavan Sambandha, relationship with the Lord. Yes, in order to revive this relationship, we don't have to start this relationship, we have to revive it. Bhakti Abhideyaya, that is the process. The process is to perform devotional service. And what is the result? Prema Prayojana. The result is prema. Vede Tina Vastukaya. And this is the subject matter of the Vedas. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Yes, these three subject matters of the Vedas. And these three subject matters are very wonderfully presented in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If you see, Lord very beautifully establishes. He first says in the 15.15, Vedescha sarve rahameva vedya. All Vedas are meant to know me. And then in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th verses, in 4 verses he explains the summary of the Vedas. The Chatushloki. 4 shlokas of the 15th chapter, they give Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojanya. Very nice. आरये ये किचु कहे सकली कल्पना स्वतः प्रमाण वेद वाक्य कल्पेन लक्षणा. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then tells, if one tries to explain the Vedas in different way, by his own imagination, that is not correct. Because Veda itself is a Praman. You don't have to prove the Vedas. You cannot prove. So it's like showing the light to a sun, who is the source of light. So Mayavadis, they do that. They try to, interpret the Vedas. So there is no requirement to interpret. One has to accept the truth. Because Vedas are the topmost pramana. The topmost proof is the Vedas. Right? Next. We will be doing 4 more verses today to complete this section. And then next, we will separately take the Atmanam verse. That discussion will require separate effort. आचार्य दोषे नाही ईश्वर आज्ञा हैला अतएव कल्पना करी नास्तिक शास्त्र कैला. So as such, there is no fault on Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya carried out the order of the Supreme Lord to bewilder the atheistic kind of people. To bring back the Vedas, that was the plan. The Buddhists had removed the Vedas, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, reject the Vedas. So Shankaracharya had to bring in the Vedas. So there is no fault on part of Shankaracharya. He simply carried out the order of Supreme Lord. So that's why he had to Mayavadam Asat Shastram. Even Shiva tells to Parvati, yes, that I will preach the philosophy of Mayavad, Asat Shastra. Yes. And that is why he had given such kind of interpretation. So now this particular Padma Puran, Uttarakanda, this verse of Shiva is also mentioned. So Mahaprabhu is quoting that. Swagamai kalpitaistvam cha janan mad vimukhan kuru mamcha gopaya yena syat srishti eshotarottara. So what he says? Swa agamai. So if you see, agama is actually the Vedas. Swagamai means my own Vedas I will present. Kalpita, based on my imagination, my own interpretation of Vedas. Yes, agama means Veda. Swagama means my own Vedas. I will create my thesis. And janan mad vimukhan kuru. What I will do, I will turn people away from those who are mad vimukhan, those who are away from the Lord. I will be addressing such kind of vimukhan. Sanmukha means one who are facing Krishna. And vimukhan means one who have turned their faces away from Krishna. Yes. So that time, mamcha gopaya yena syat srishti reshottara. So people will take more interest in advancing in material civilization just to propagate a population bereft of spiritual knowledge. So here the purpose was to bring back the Vedas. Yeah. So people will be taking, yes, this is a quote from Padma Puran where Lord, this is spoken by Lord, not Shiva, where Lord says that I will make a plan to bring back the Vedas in the age of Kali Yuga, when people have given up faith in the Vedas. Yes. So people will take more interest in using the Vedas for material advancement. So he'll bring back the Vedas. So by quoting that, okay, Vedas promote that there is no difference between you and Lord. Everything is one. You are Brahman, everything is Brahman. Every one of us is Brahman. Acha, really we are God? Yes, yes, please come. Read this. And this is the quotation by Shiva, which I was referring to. Mayavadam asat shastram pachannam bauddhamuchyate mayeva vihitam devi kalau brahmana murtina. So in the age of Kali, I will take the form, I will be a Brahmana, Shankaracharya. And mayeva vihitam, yes, I will, by me only, I will teach. What? Mayavadam asat shastram. I will teach the philosophy of Mayavad, which is Prachannam Bauddha Muchyate. It is also Buddhist philosophy only. That's why sometimes Mayavad is called Neo-Buddhism. In covered Buddhism philosophy. Because directly Buddhism se hatana mushkil hai. From zero ground floor, you come to first floor, then you come to second floor. Correct? That's how you go. So we cannot directly give people the philosophy of Achintya Veda, which is ultimate. So we have to go quite systematically. So then he says this, that I will teach. So he said, Brahmana Murtina in this verse refers to the founder of Mayavad philosophy, who is Shankaracharya. He was born in the Malabar district of South India, Kerala. So Mayavad cites false scriptures, Asat Shastra, in such a way that people will lose their spiritual knowledge and become addicted to jnana and karma, fruitive activities and mental speculation. Last verse for today's discussion. सुनी भट्टाचार्य हैला परम विस्मित मुखेन निसारे वाणी हैला स्तंभित. So after listening to all these arguments by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Suni Bhattacharya, Haila Parama Vismita, he was completely shocked. I never knew all this. मुझे पता ही नहीं था. मुखे न निसारे वाणी Haila Stambita. So sound was not able to come from his mouth and he became stunned. Yes, he became completely stunned. Chup chap. This is what happened. So here in this section today, what we discussed was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He goes, I'll just summarize this in 2 minutes and we'll close. The Parinamvad and the Vivartavad, two things that which Vad exists. So Parinamvad is Vyasa's Vad, where the entire manifestation is actually a transformation of Lord's energy. Correct? So Lord's energetic transformation in this world. This cosmic manifestation is Krishna's energetical transformation. That's what happens. Prakriti, there is Pradhana, there is Mahatattva, Mithyahankara. This is all explained very wonderfully in the Bhagavatam. On the other hand, if you see the Vyasa's Parimanavad is defeated by so-called false arguments of Mayavadis, who conclude that Brahma Satyam Jagat is Mithya. Yes, this is false. So it is not false, it's temporary. The moment you tell somebody's energy is false, that person's form also becomes false. And that person's form is false, then there is no point of devotion service. So this is atheistic philosophy. So Mahaprabhu defeats that with direct Vedic statements. Very clearly he defeats by establishing the energy of Omkara. Is Omkara false? No. Tattvamasi, yes, that's a secondary statement, but what is first? Omkara, the chanting of Om. Do that. Don't just speculate. Because Om is the sound representation of Lord. Only a person can have initial. Only a person can have energy. So that he establishes. And then he tells that Shankaracharya is not at fault. He quotes shlokas from Shastras and say that it's not Shankaracharya who is at fault at all, because Shankara simply carried out the order of Lord. Yes. So those who are against the Vedas, they become favorable to the Vedas. Especially after the Buddhist era, where people had given up the Vedas. So till here we had discussed. Next time when we come, the next week we will discuss the meanings of Atma Ramascha Muniyo. There's that Atmaram verse. It's a very famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll discuss the meaning of that. How Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeats Sarvabhauma by presenting different meanings. So that we'll be discussing in the next section. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. I thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bo. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.